Hello and welcome back to the video on the Football Zone and to an FA Cup quarter-final review and a preview of all the Premier League games coming up this week. But starting off with the review of the FA Cup quarter-finals that we saw, starting off on Saturday with Fulham 0, Crystal Palace 3. What a result this was for Crystal Palace, heading to Wembley for the FA Cup semi-final. And yeah, it was pretty dominant win in the end. Eze, Sarr and Nketiah with the goals. And yeah, Fulham had lots of ball, didn't really do much with it. Palace took their chances and yeah, deserved to go through. They were on a great little run. But for Fulham, they'll see this as a missed opportunity and hugely disappointing. Nottingham Forest advanced to the FA Cup semi-final after beating Brighton at the Amex on penalties. It was Hints, Howard and Gomez who missed for Brighton, and Nico Williams also missed for Forest, but obviously that was made irrelevant. And yeah, in terms of the game itself, pretty even, I would say. There wasn't a lot to pick between the two sides. Maybe, if anything, Forest just stayed there and probably deserved to go through. Their dream season continues. I think Brighton will have similar emotions to Fulham, really. But for Forest, credit to them. What an unbelievable season they're having, courtesy of Nuno. Moving on into Aston Villa, and they strolled into the FA Cup semi-final, dispatching Championship side Preston 3-0 at Deepdale. Rashford with 2, great to see him on the score sheet, and Ramsey with another, all within a 13-minute period. And yeah, really, this was domination from the start. They had to be patient, but in the end, they got their reward. So yeah, they'll be absolutely delighted. That huge win for them. And yeah, heading to another FA Cup semi-final, which is obviously great for them. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. Moving on then to Bournemouth 1, Manchester City 2 at the Vitality. And yeah, Bournemouth coming into this one, taking the lead early on through Evanson. Haaland missed a penalty before that, but then Haaland made up for it in the second half, and then a goal from Mamouche as well. The game really seemed to change when Nico O'Reilly came on to set up 2 goals when he came on after half time. And yeah, Man City really dominated this game and deserved to go through, I would say. I think, the Bournemouth will probably be disappointed with the performance, but I think we saw Man City somewhat to their best in the second half. But moving on into the Tuesday's preview, and yeah, starting off with Arsenal against Fulham. And yeah, this is a big game for Fulham also than you said Arsenal. Arsenal, they seem to be about 10 points inside the Champions League, and I think 12 points off Liverpool now. So it's looking very unlikely for them now that they'll be really challenging for the league title or stressing against the Champions League. Fulham, they still do have a decent chance of Europe, but I just feel like Arsenal have too much quality here, and that will see them by. So I'm going to say 2-0 for Arsenal. Moving on into West Ham against Wolves, and yeah, it's been a pretty disappointing season for both these lot. But I think their season is kind of almost at an end point now, I'd say. Obviously, it's been for Wolves. They've been stressing over relegation for a lot of the season, but that seems to kind of been reversing now. I don't think they'll be going down and playing Championship football next year, with the bottom 3 being so poor. And West Ham, seem to have a decent gap as well. I just feel like West Ham probably have more quality in this one, so I'm going to say 2-1 to the Hammers. Moving on then to Nottingham Forest against Manchester United at the City Ground. And yeah, this is probably a game where you think Nottingham Forest will probably have the advantage in, even against the Manchester United side, because Forest have just been so good recently. We even saw it in the FA Cup. Manchester United having such a disappointing season, and yeah, just look at the league table, just look at the performances. Forest are the much better side than Manchester United at the moment. I'm going to say it'll be 2-0 to Forest. Moving on into Bournemouth against Ipswich at the Vitality, and yeah, this is a big game for both of these sides. So Bournemouth, coming into this one, obviously it's been a bit of a disappointing run, crashing out of the FA Cup on the weekend, and before that they've had a bit of a disappointing run. It seems to drop away from the top of the echelons of the league a bit, really. Ipswich, it's looking pretty hopeless for their survival chances, so perfect chance for Bournemouth to get some momentum. I'm going to say 3-1. Moving on then to Brighton against Aston Villa on Wednesday, and yeah, this is a very intriguing game for me. I think both these teams pretty evenly matched. Both these teams coming into this one on pretty decent form, especially Aston Villa. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. This one, I think evenly matched sides, both competing for the same thing. So yeah, it definitely has the potential to be a big match. Obviously, it's so close in those battles to get into Europe. So yeah, it's going to be a very intriguing one. I'm going to say it will end up as a 1-1 draw. Moving on into Manchester City against Leicester at the Etihad, and yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. But I feel like Manchester City will definitely be the favourites here. We've seen that they're starting to get back to their best, I would say. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Leicester obviously pretty hopeless. It looks like they're heading back down under Ruud van Nistelrooy, which is disappointing for them. So yeah, I'm going to say Man City will come away with a comfortable 3-0 win here. Moving on then to Newcastle against Brentford at St James's Park, and obviously it'll be a bit of a party atmosphere at St James's Park for this game. Obviously, winning the Carabao Cup, first major trophy in so long. Unbelievable. So yeah, you definitely feel Newcastle will come away with the victory in this one, but Brentford, they need to pick up some form. The European dream maybe isn't slightly over yet, so it'll be intriguing to see how it goes. I'm going to say it'll be 2-1 to Newcastle. Moving on then to Southampton against Crystal Palace at St Mary's, and yeah, Southampton coming into this one, obviously it's been a dreadful season for them, and they're still battling to avoid becoming the worst team in Premier League history, which is something they desperately want to avoid. So yeah, it's going to be an intriguing one, this one against the Palace. We saw how good they are in that semi-final, so it's going to be a very, very tough game for them. But I just think Palace will have too much here, and I'm going to say it will be 3-1 to the Palace. Moving on then to Liverpool against Everton in the Merseyside derby, and yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. Liverpool coming into this one, obviously all but securing the league title. Everton now, after a great run under David Moyes, now looking like they're going to be pretty safe now for the rest of the season, you'd expect. So yeah, it's probably doesn't have the spice it looked like it was going to have a few weeks ago, but nonetheless it'll still be a great game. It's still the Merseyside derby, isn't it? I'm going to say it will be 2-0 to Liverpool. Moving on then to Chelsea against Tottenham, and yeah, another intriguing game to finish off the midweek round of Premier League fixtures, and yeah, a game that I'm really looking forward to. Chelsea against Tottenham, always a good game, isn't it? Chelsea still battling for top four. Tottenham, just having an awful season, wanting it to end, I imagine. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, this one, and one that you'd expect. Chelsea at home, against the Tottenham side who have been so poor this season, to have enough to probably get the win. So I'm going to say it'll be 2-0 to Chelsea.
Anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily football news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.